In the heart of ancient India, under the blazing sun of the Mauryan dynasty, a storm was gathering. His name was Ashoka. Born into the house of Chandragupta Maurya, the founder of a vast empire, Ashoka was not first in line, but destiny rarely follows the rules of bloodlines. He was brilliant, brutal, a warrior prince who bore his scars with pride and ambition like a fire that refused to die. When the empire trembled with succession, the blood of brothers was not enough to quench the thirst for the throne. Ashoka emerged, not by love, but by fear. Thus began the rise of a man who would one day bring an entire kingdom to its knees, only to rise again, a different man in a different world. It was the year 261 BCE. The air was thick with drums of war. Kalinga, a proud free nation, refused to bow. Ashoka would make them kneel. The battle that followed would become legend. Rivers turned red. Smoke swallowed the sun. Men cried for mercy that would never come. Ashoka stood triumphant, but victory tasted of ashes. Over 100,000 lay dead. The ground itself wept. Among the ruins, a silent emperor wandered. He saw children without parents, mothers without sons, and for the first time, the conqueror wept. That night, the sword grew heavy in his hand, and the man who had conquered Kalinga was conquered by guilt. Ashoka vanished from the battlefield and emerged in silence. The walls of his palace no longer echoed with triumph, but with torment. He turned inward, searching for something no empire could provide. And in the quiet wisdom of an old monk named Upagupta, Ashoka found his answer, not in gold, not in blood, but in Dharma. He cast aside his sword, embraced the teachings of the Buddha, and from the ashes of Kalinga arose the emperor of peace. This was not weakness. This was power restrained. Ashoka did not abdicate power. He redefined it. His empire now marched not with armies, but with messages carved into stone, edicts of compassion, tolerance, and truth. He built hospitals for animals, wells for travelers, and monasteries for monks. Messengers were sent as far as Sri Lanka, Central Asia, even Greece, not to conquer, but to teach. The emperor became a servant of all beings. His rule was no longer of dominion, but of Dharma. Ashoka's final years were marked not by war, but by silence, reflection, peace. He passed not as a tyrant, but as a teacher. For centuries his memory faded, lost to jungle and dust, until in the 19th century, a British archaeologist uncovered strange stone pillars across India, and the name Devanampiya Piyadasi was revealed. Ashoka had returned. Today, his Dharma chakra turns in the heart of India's national flag. His legacy echoes not in monuments, but in the hearts of those who believe in mercy over might. Ashoka the Great, not because he conquered lands, but because he conquered himself.